Live from the campus of Darien High School, it's varsity softball on the DAF Media Network this afternoon in the FCIAC. It's the Darien Blue Wave at home against the Westhill Vikings. Hi, everybody. I'm Damian Andrews. So glad you could be with us this afternoon for this DAF Media broadcast of high school varsity softball. Joining me this afternoon is really Darien softball royalty in many ways. Rebecca DeMayo, so glad you could hop aboard this DAF Media broadcast. Of course, Rebecca DeMayo, class of 2015. She's finishing up at UConn. She's up in Stores, and a big part of this Darien softball program over the last several years. Rebecca, so glad you could be with us this afternoon.
Hi, Damian. Thank you for having me.
So this is a matchup of two perennial powers who are having off seasons by their standards, Darien and Westhill. Of course, they played for the FCIAC championship a year ago. Darien won that, and last season we're going to have some video of that later in our broadcast. But here we go. On the mound for the Blue Wave, is Grace Carez, and first pitch is a ball. And at the plate for Westhill, Maddie Batista, she pops it up to third, and there's one away.
And that catch was made by Rosalie at third base, number 22.
Rosalie Perrone, number 22, the third baseman for Darien. The number 2 hitter stepping into the box for Westhill is Tessa Manella. And foul ball. So 0-1 count here to Tessa Manella. Ground ball to Perrone at third. She throws over to first, and there are 2 away. So the first 2 Westhill batters retired by Darien. This is a Darien team that comes into this game 7-9 overall, 4-8 in the FCIAC. They are 1 win away from clinching a spot in the state tournament. And Westhill comes into this game 2-14 overall, 2-10 in the FCIAC, coming off a heartbreaking loss for them to their city rival in Stamford. And that was a 6-5 game in 8 innings. It decided the city title. 3rd year in a row, that game went into extra innings, the game between Westhill and Stamford.
And you know, the rivalry between Stamford High and Westhill is always prevalent every year. So that's always a game to watch. And just the fact that it went into 8 innings shows that no matter what year, it's always quite the competition.
Maddie Cortell at the plate for Westhill, the Vikings' number 3 hitter. She is a terrific player, and it's 2-1 the count to Cortell. And that's a base hit to center field, past the outstretched arm of Haley King at short.
That's retrieved by Stephanie Gentile in center field. Stephanie is part of today's Senior Day celebrations by Darien.
3 seniors being honored before this game from Darien: Haley King, Stephanie Gentile, Kaylani Caruso. Now the 4 hitter, Olivia Butler. Ground ball to second, over to first, and that'll do it for the top of the first. No score. We're going to take a quick break here on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network, home half of the first inning. And leading things off for Darien is the shortstop, Haley King. King obviously played on the Darien varsity girls basketball team, had a nice season. And here she is leading things off. Darien head coach Nick DeMeo says she is probably the fastest player on his team. Of course, Nick DeMeo has done a tremendous job in building this Darien softball program. And so 2-0 the count to King. On the mound for Westhill is Fran DeLeo. And that's a strike. The 2-1 pitch to King. And it's 2-2. Damian Andrew, Rebecca DeMeo joining you for this DAF Media broadcast of high school varsity softball. We are live from the campus of Darien High School. 3-2 count now to Haley King as the pitch was up high.
Got a full count here on King. You'd love to see her get on base in the first inning, get some runners for Darien.
And especially on senior day, King, one of the 3 seniors on this Darien team, she fouls that one away. Want to give a shout out to our DAF Media production crew, Thomas Kiernan, Ted Brennan, our director, Thomas Kiernan on camera 2, and that is a base hit through the left side for Haley King, and the leadoff runner is aboard for Darien.
King really kept her hands inside there and pulled that ball straight to left field.
Nice quick stroke. Just an absolutely beautiful day here in Darien, Connecticut. Picture perfect. And that brings up Kaylani Caruso. She lays down the bunt right side, and she advances King to second. She's out at first, so Kaylani Caruso doing her job as she lays down the picture-perfect bunt, and King is now in scoring position on second base with 1 out, and that brings up Rosalie Perrone. Perrone, the 3-hitter for Darien. Ground ball left side, bobbled by the shortstop. Thrown out at first, and King advances to third on the throw to first.
That is some excellent base running by 32 senior King as she held up at second base until the shortstop released that throw.
And Perrone is safe at first, so she is aboard at first base. Runners on first and third for Darien as the Blue Wave have something cooking here in the home half of the first inning. Caroline Kruger steps into the box. Like Haley King, Kruger also played basketball over the winter for Darien. Kruger, a junior. That's a strike as Perrone heads down to second. The throw is high, and Haley King will score on the overthrow by Cortell. So it's 1-0 Darien as the Blue Wave strike first here on senior day here at Darien High School. As we mentioned, 3 seniors, King, Gentile, Caruso, honored before the game. So a 1-2 count here to Caroline Kruger. Two and two.
It's a good take by Caroline. We're going to have to see what the home plate umpire's strike zone is today, but that did look like it was quite a bit outside.
And it's a full count now to Caroline Kruger. Caroline Kruger, Darien's catcher. Of course, Rebecca DeMeo, that's a position you know something about. Rebecca DeMeo caught when she was on the varsity team here at Darien. Ball's popped up at home plate, and Cortell camps out underneath it, makes the out, and 2 away here in the bottom half of the first. 1-0 Darien. Rosalie Perrone on second.
That would be big if senior Stephanie Gentile could hit Rosalie in here, because then Darien would be up by 2 after the first.
Stephanie Gentile, first pitch, she takes it high, ball 1. And that's a strike, 1-1. As I'm looking at Coach Nick DeMeo, Darien's head coach, has the Senior Day t-shirt on, which is a very nice little gesture, recognizing Caruso, Gentile, and King. 1-2 the count to Stephanie Gentile, the 5-hitter for Darien. Darien up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. And it's 2-2. Rebecca, what a day for a softball game. Just picture perfect, slight breeze. Temperature is just right.
You know, when you had snow about a month ago, you wouldn't expect to have this kind of weather.
And Gentile strikes out, and that will do it for the first inning. 1-0 Darien as they strike first. We're going to take a quick break here on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Varsity softball, Darien Westhill, 1-0 Blue Wave in the top of the second now. And leading things off for Westhill is Caroline Collar. And she fouls this one back, and it's caught by Kruger, so 1 away for Darien in the bottom of the top of the second inning.
You know, those plays behind the plate really are not easy for a catcher, so Caroline really jumped on that ball over by the home team dugout. Grace Carras is looking good on the mound today. She is in her zone.
And that's a foul ball. Betsy Sachs up to bat for Westhill. 1 away here in the top of the second inning. And she fouls that one over the Darien dugout. Rebecca, how much do you miss it when you see this game being played this afternoon on such a picture-perfect day? Ground ball right side. And 2 away.
Well, it is a picture-perfect day for a softball game here, especially senior day. I was only a senior 3 years ago now, so that's getting pretty far back.
Maddie Conti, Darien's second baseman, with the put out there. And that brings up for Westhill, number 22, Annalise Fishkill.
It's a good spot by Grace Karras right on the inside part of the plate there.
Grace Karras, just a freshman. And Fishkill fouls it off. Fishkill is Westhill's right fielder. (0-2) count. And that's a ball.
It's a good setup pitch there by Grace Karras, probably called by Caroline Kruger behind the plate.
And that'll be a swing and a miss, and that will do it for the top of the second inning. We head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Darien here on a gorgeous day in southwestern Connecticut. We will be right back on the DAF Media Network. We are back live on the DAF Media Network, and we're taking a look at She was a catcher and helped Darien win the 2012 What do you miss most? Such a great program.
Yeah, and you know, it's really the team atmosphere in all aspects of the game, on and off the field. And then that competition, when you play your rival, like this game today against Westhill, there's really nothing like it.
Yeah, this has become a rivalry over the years. Of course, they played each other in the last season's FCIAC championship game, and of course in 2012 as well.
Yeah, that's correct. We Darien beat Westhill in the 2012 FCIAC championship. Also in 2017, that was one heck of a game. That was a good finish to the season for Darien.
And this is a Westhill program that is just steeped in tradition. Head coach Tom Pia does a terrific job. He's been around 14 seasons as the Vikings head coach. And leading things off for Darien here in the home half of the second inning is Grace Karras, the pitcher.
And it's funny, Damien, it's always been a rivalry between Darien and Westhill in softball, but very few other sports have that same rivalry with Westhill. Typically, it's New Canaan.
And that is a base hit for Karras as she's helping her own cause here. Leads off the bottom of the second with a base hit. And Darien, once again, has the leadoff runner aboard. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Karras. And that'll be Melanie Vernal, number 2. She'll pinch run for Karras as Darien head coach Nick DeMeo makes that switch.
Melanie's just a freshman, but she does have some wheels out there on the base path.
And that brings up Sydney Fagerstrom for Darien, the right fielder. As you can hear through our microphones, slight breeze here at Darien. Fagerstrom hits it deep to center field, over the center fielder's head, and that'll score another run for Darien, as Vernal scores on the double by Fagerstrom.
That ball went a long way out there in center field.
I was a little concerned it was going to hit our center field camera, but well short. But the RBI double for Fagerstrom, and Darien has another run on the scoreboard. Foul ball is Maddie Conti now up to bat. 0-1 count. On the mound for Westhill, Fran DeLeo. Conti lays down the bunt, advances the runner to third. She'll be out at first. So one away here.
Perfectly executed sacrifice bunt by Maddie Conti, though. Number 24, the second baseman for Darien.
And Darien head coach Nick DeMeo. Tactical softball. Advancing the runner, lay down the bunt. 1 out, 2-0 Darien here in the bottom of the second.
With 1 out here, it would be excellent if Isachi could put that ball on the outfield for a sacrifice fly, get Melanie Vernal in to score, give Darien another run here in the second inning.
Isachi Smalls up to bat, pop fly.
That is exactly what she did.
The runner tags and the runner scores as Fagerstrom tags and scores from third on the sac fly to shallow right center field by Smalls. So 2 away here in the bottom of the second, 3-0 Darien. On senior day, Haley King steps into the batter's box and takes ball 1 on the first pitch from Fran DeLeo.
Darien is already at the top of the lineup. It's only the second inning. Haley King is the leadoff hitter for Darien.
Haley King got aboard in the first inning and scored the Blue Waves' first run of the game. So a 3-0 count here. Haley King, is she taking Rebecca, or is she?
You know, now on this 3-0 count, I'm going to say she's taking. Oh, and she's swinging.
And she's swinging and misplayed by the left fielder. And King cruises into second.
She ripped that ball to left field. It almost took off the left fielder's glove from Westhill out there.
And that was a tough play in left field for Hannah Burston. Ball just gets by her, and King is aboard with 2 outs, second base.
It's a good take by Kaylani Caruso, low and outside.
Kaylani Caruso, Darien's number 2 hitter. The first baseman for the Blue Wave. Two-0 count. Ball is low, and King heads down to third, and she is in there. And we mentioned Haley King's wheels earlier in the broadcast, showing them off right there.
That's right. Haley's very quick on the base paths, and that was a very strategic slide as well by number 32. She got in there with her left hand, slid right past third base.
That's a strike. 3-1 the count to Kaylani Caruso. As we mentioned earlier, Kaylani Caruso, one of the 3 seniors being recognized before the game on senior day. Parents in attendance, always a special moment, and that'll be ball 4 as she trots down to first base. And with 2 outs, Darien has runners on first and third. Damian Andrew, Rebecca DeMeo joining you. Thanks so much for joining us on the DAF Media Network. Varsity softball, Darien and Westhill, a rivalry game in the FCIAC. Both teams have struggled a bit this season. Darien is 1 win away from clinching a spot in the state tournament. But certainly you throw out the records when these two get together, because they have been two of the heavyweights in the conference for the last several years. In fact, met in the FCIAC championship game just a year ago and met in the 2012 FCIAC championship game.
Does seem like Darien and Westhill have a bit of a habit of meeting at that tournament site of Sacred Heart Field. And you know what? It always makes for quite a game.
Great facility there on the campus of Sacred Heart University, softball-specific field. And Rosalie Perrone strikes out, and that'll do it for the second inning. It's 3-0 Darien as the Blue Wave put up 2 in the bottom of the second. We're going to take a quick break here on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Darien, Westhill, varsity softball, Damian Andrew and Rebecca DeMeo joining you for this one. 3-0 Blue Wave, top of the third. And leading things off for Westhill, number 11, Fran DeLeo, the pitcher. 0-1 count here.
Nice pitch by Grace Carras on the mound. It's got to feel pretty good to come out into just the third inning and already have 3 runs on the board as a little bit of a cushion there.
And that's strike 3 as DeLeo swings and misses. So the pitcher gets the pitcher. And 1 away here in the top half of the third. Stepping in to the batter's box for Westhill, number 2, Hannah Burston, the left fielder. And she tries to drag a bunt, strike 1.
Nice job by Darien's defense. You could see 22 third baseman Rosalie and first baseman Kaylani running in on that bunt as soon as the batter squared.
Fouls it off, and it's an 0-2 count. Darien was looking for a pitcher after the departure of Sophia Barber from a year ago. And the freshman, Grace Carras, has filled the void. Barber was the MVP of the FCIAC tournament last year as a senior when the Blue Wave celebrated, as you mentioned, Rebecca, at Sacred Heart University, where the FCIAC championship has been contended. And 2 away now.
Grace Carras helps herself out there on the mound by fielding that ground ball.
The weak ground ball to Carras. She scoops it up, fires over to first, gets the out. And there's 2 away here in the top of the third.
Like you said, Damien, it's not easy for a freshman to step up and become the starting pitcher of a high school team, but Grace has done a great job after Sophia Barber graduated.
Maddie Batista steps in for Westhill. She's the leadoff hitter. The second baseman for the Vikings. And it's a 2-0 count to Batista. Westhill, coached by Tom Pia, has done a terrific job with the Vikings. Struggling a bit this season, but certainly has built one of the top programs in the FCIAC. Last season, Westhill 17-3, 15-1, and they were atop the FCIAC's West Division. Kruger facing Westhill's Fran DeLeo. Ball one. And Rebecca, always something special about a rivalry game in the FCIAC, and that is exactly what this is. Ball two. Again, as we mentioned, both teams have struggled at times this season, but certainly you throw out the records when these two get together, when the blue and purple meet up on the softball diamond.
That's right, and even though it might not be the FCIAC championship, these two teams always put on a good show when they're battling each other on the field.
So a 2-1 count to Kruger. Kruger and line to third, and a nice catch there by Westhill's third baseman, Betsy Sachs. So Kruger lines out to Sachs, and that brings up Stephanie Gentile.
It's a good hold by Gentile in the batter's box there. That ball was way above her hands.
Ground ball left side, and it gets through the left side of the infield, and Gentile is aboard with one away here in the bottom of the third. Want to thank everybody for watching this broadcast of varsity softball on the DAF Media Network, our first ever softball live stream on the DAF Media Network. So happy to bring it to you.
Certainly picked the right day for it.
And the first pitch to Grace Carez is a strike. Swing and a miss, strike two. Runner down to second. Gentile, ball goes into the outfield. Gentile will hold at second as she is now in scoring position here with one away in the home half of the third.
And Darien has done a great job today of really not leaving runners on. So anyone that's been on base has made it all the way around for Darien so far.
And that's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Grace Carez. Fly ball to center field, and 2 away as Tessa Manella camps under it, makes the catch. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. 3-0 Darien. They scored in the first inning, scored twice in the second inning. And they've got a runner in scoring position in the third, but that will do it as a weak fly ball to Olivia Butler at short, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So after 3 full, it's 3-0 Darien. We are going to take a quick break on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Gorgeous day in southwestern Connecticut for some varsity softball. Darien and Westhill Blue Wave lead 3-0 after 3 innings. We mentioned these two teams met up in the FCIAC championship game a year ago at Sacred Heart University. We've got some footage from that game. Here is the final out.
Catch it, KP.
And Darien claims its 3rd FCIAC championship since 2011. as they beat Westhill in that game at Sacred Heart University. Just a terrific game between two terrific teams. Not much was expected of Darien last season, or at least heading into the season, but they certainly proved all the prognosticators wrong as they finished strong and go on to win another FCIAC championship, the third under head coach Nick DeMeo.
It's always nice to see another FCIAC championship flag flying on the varsity field here at the high school.
So here we go, top of the fourth. Maddie Cortell leading things off for Westhill, the catcher. And the heart of the order up for Westhill here. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here in the top of the fourth. Vikings trail 3-0. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Nice play by Grace Carez, and she throws it over to Caruso at first to get the out, and Cortell is retired. And talk about instincts. That was a well-hit ground ball.
That was a very nice backhand by pitcher Grace Carez there. That is not easy when you're so close to home plate there as a pitcher.
There's Olivia Butler. First pitch is high to Butler.
People always forget that there are two jobs for a pitcher. They have to make the pitch and then field the ball.
Butler fouls it off. Who was your battery mate during your 2 seasons?
My battery mate was Erica Oshiro.
That's right, Oshiro, yeah, who was a terrific pitcher.
Fantastic. She really brought the velocity in our 4 years here at Darien. She was throwing 62, 63 back in the day.
Ball's fouled back. How much of a synergy do you have to have with your pitcher? I mean, you were a catcher. There's a special bond there, right, between pitcher and catcher, especially in softball because, you know, usually you have one pitcher, and she pitches throughout the season.
Definitely. You have to have that unspoken communication.
Yep.
You have to be able to read when the pitcher, you know, doesn't want to throw that pitch that you first give her, even before she shakes you off. Otherwise, it's too late. So you have to definitely have a quality relationship in that battery mate.
Full count to Butler, and she is caught looking. Strike 3. Nice pitch by Carez on the inside half of the plate.
You know, you could really start to see that relationship forming between Grace Carez and Caroline Kruger there behind the plate.
So Caroline Collar up for Westhill, the 5-hitter. And it's quickly 2-0. Two-one count. 3-1 to Collar, the first baseman. Ball is low, and that's ball 4. So Collar heads down to first, and Westhill has a runner aboard with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And that'll bring up Betsy Sachs. Sachs, the third baseman. Ground ball left side. King fields it cleanly at short. Low throw in the dirt at first. And everybody's safe as Collar advances to third.
It's a tough play in the 5-6 hole there for King to make. She's got to plant her foot and throw the ball, and Kaylani has to make a tough scoop there at first base.
That was a play that made Derek Jeter's career.
That's right.
He could make that play with ease, or he made it look easy. Ground ball up the middle, and Westhill has its first run of the afternoon with 2 away as Annalise Fishkill, the right fielder, with a hard-hit ground ball up the middle, back up the box. So Westhill gets on the board with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, and Darien head coach Nick DeMayo comes out to talk to his team in the circle. Rebecca, any idea, any thoughts on what he might be saying?
You know, I bet he's out there saying to stop this right here, because now it's 3-1. Darien's still leading, but you don't want to get that. You don't want that runner on third to get in, because then it's a completely different ball game.
Nick DeMayo, nothing if not competitive.
To say the least.
He, because of the way he coaches the game, he has built a terrific program here at Darien. Fran DeLeo, the Westhill pitcher, up trying to help her own cause here in the top of the 4th. And King makes the out as a weakly hit line drive to short, and that will do it. And Darien does hold it right there. So after 3.5, it's 3-1 Darien. Varsity softball on the DAF Media Network. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back for more live softball. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Damian Andrew alongside Rebecca DeMayo. Of course, Rebecca's sister, Jess DeMayo, was quite the pitcher here at Darien back in her playing days. Here's a shot of Jess. And what's nice for you is you actually had the chance to play for 1 season or 2?
I played with her for 1 season, my freshman year.
Your freshman year?
2011.
And she was a senior. Yep.
Yep, that's correct. That was nice because I was, Olivia Godds back then was her battery mate, but I got to warm her up before games, you know, see the team dynamic with her, and that's always special as a sister.
Maddie Conti leading things off here in the home half of the 4th for Darien. First pitch was a ball. That's a strike, so it's a 1-1 count. Fran DeLeo on the mound for Westhill, the Vikings pitcher. Or I shouldn't say on the mound, I should say in the circle, right? And that's strike 2, so 1-2 to Conti. Two-two count. That ball a little up in the zone. And you said it, Rebecca, this game moving along. Strike 3, and that'll do it. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Brings up Isachi Smalls, junior right fielder for Darien.
Isachi Smalls lines out to third as Betsy Sachs makes a nice play at third for Westhill. Really terrific crowd here on hand for this one on Senior Day.
Wave did a nice job of celebrating their seniors today. The 3 seniors were walked out by their parents wearing their Senior Day t-shirts. You have decorations around the field here.
One and one count to Haley King, the Darien shortstop. Did more than a couple of high school varsity girls basketball games this season on the DAF Media Network. Haley King, a big part of the Blue Wave basketball team. And that is strike three as King is caught looking. And we are through 4 innings, as Rebecca DeMeo just said. This game moving along here. 3-1 Darien. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us, Damian Andrew, alongside Rebecca DeMeo. 3-1 Darien as we head to the top of the 5th. Blue Wave and Westhill, and that is a quick out, line drive out, as Caruso makes a nice play at first. Hannah Burston retired, and that'll bring up Maddie Batista.
Looks like Darien is getting into their slap defense there for the lefty at the plate.
And Batista fouls the first pitch back, strike one. Grace Carras, the freshman pitcher for Darien, trying to get the win here on senior day. Ground ball, and that's another out. So 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Nice play at second by Maddie Conti. Throws over to Caruso at first to get the out. And that'll bring up Tessa Manella, the center fielder for Westhill. Line drive base hit to right field as Manella is safe at first, and Darien made it close as that ball was hit sharply to right. And Sydney Fagerstrom throws to Caruso at first, nearly got the runner. But Manella is in there. That'll bring up the 3-hitter, Maddie Cortell. Cortell, fly ball, right center field. Gentile camps under it, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-1 Darien. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network. We are back live on the DAF Media Network, heading into the home half of the fifth. Varsity softball, Darien and Westhill. Blue Wave up 3-1 after scoring in the first 2 innings. And leading things off for Darien is Kehlani Caruso, and she grounds out to third. So 1 away here in the bottom of the fifth.
So next season, Darien's going to have to work to replace 3 seniors. Kehlani Caruso at first base, Stephanie Gentile in center field, and Haley King over there at shortstop. That's not going to be too easy with 3 seniors that are in the starting lineup here for Darien.
Rosalie Perrone up for Darien. 1-1 the count. It will not be easy replacing those 3 players, as you just mentioned, but certainly a terrific foundation. A lot of young, talented underclassmen for Nick DeBeo's program, and that's a bloop base hit to center field for Perrone, so she is aboard with 1 away.
That's always been a strength of the Darien softball program. You know, you start the freshman, sophomore, get them involved in the team so that by the time they're juniors and seniors, they can be in that starting 9.
We mentioned the success earlier of this Westhill program. They've played in 6 state championship games. They won the 2010 state title, Class L state title, beating Newtown 4-2, and then they won the Class L state title in 1992, beating Holy Cross 6-1, and they've won 7 FCIAC championships since 1985. Tom Pia has been the head coach of the Vikings for 14 seasons. Pop up, shallow left field, and Butler makes the catch.
That was a great play by Butler at shortstop. She really took that drop step. Didn't backpedal to get that ball. That was key.
Steph Gentile up for Darien. Ground ball. Fouls it away.
Darien still has Rosalie Perrone over there as a runner at first base.
And Perrone's heading down to second. She is in there, the hard slide into second.
She got a great jump over there at first.
So the runner moves up. The runner moves up in scoring position. And now it's going to be Gentile's job to try to bring her in. Ball is high and outside, 2-1 the count.
It's a good take by Gentile. She needs something she could drive here with 2 outs for the Blue Wave.
That ball is high as well. Gentile playing on senior day. The senior, her last home game here at Darien High School. Fouls it behind the backstop. Full count now to Steph Gentile. Fran DeLeo in the circle for Westhill. Gentile, hard ground ball to third, and everybody's safe. It was a tough play for Sachs as that ball was just ripped. She bobbles it, can't come up with it to make a play at first, and Perrone on the hit ball advances to third. So runners on the corners for Darien here in the home half of the fifth with 2 outs. Blue Wave up 3-1.
Should be interesting to see if Coach DeMeo makes any moves here with the runners on the corners. Could easily have Steph Gentile over there maybe take second, but it could be risky.
Grace Carras at the plate as Gentile heads down to second. Perrone goes to home, and she's in there. So Cortell throws down to second to try to get Gentile, and Perrone with a heads-up play as she takes off for home, and she is in there, and it's 4-1 Darien.
It's a good idea by the Vikings, but it just seemed like their shortstop needed to come in a little bit more, cut that ball off once Perrone took off from third base.
Base hit up the middle. Gentile is being waved home, and she will score easily on the base hit. So Grace Carra's helping her cause here as she delivers the RBI base hit. Gentile scores, and it's 5-1 Darien as they have put up a 2-spot here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And we've got a pinch runner. That ball is fouled away. Sydney Fagerstrom at the plate for Darien, and the pinch runner for Carez is Melanie Vernal. And fly ball center field, and that will do it for the 5th inning. But Darien scores 2 more runs. It's 5-1 now, Blue Wave, heading in to the top of the 6th. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. I want to apologize to Melanie Vernal. I said Vernal, it's Vernal. And we mentioned the FCIAC championships won by both of these programs. Darien won the 2011 FCIAC championship, and there's a team photo of the Blue Wave after winning that. And they also won the 2012 FCIAC championship.
Back-to-back years there for the Blue Wave. They played at Fairfield University and then Sacred Heart.
Who's that player right there in the front row there?
That would be me.
That would be Rebecca DeMeo, and she was a part of that team.
That was my freshman year here at Darien.
That had to be special to obviously not only win a title, but to win it with your sister, Jess DeMeo, who is the pitcher.
Extremely special, and you know, they really had an amazing senior class that year that just inspired us freshmen to really keep that nature going throughout the rest of our 4 years.
So it's the top of the 6th. Olivia Butler leading things off for Westhill as the Vikings find themselves down 4 runs. Ball was up high. 1-1 the count to Butler. Butler is Westhill's shortstop. Grace Carras, the freshman, in the circle for Darien. That ball is outside, 2-2 the count. I'm looking at Westhill head coach Tom Pia in the coach's box, and that's strike 3. So 1 away here in the top of the 6th. I'm looking at Coach Pia, and I love that saying on the back of his shirt, come early, stay late.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's what it's all about.
I think both Pia and DeMeo live by that saying there for practices, games, all of the above.
Yeah, I saw Coach DeMeo out here a couple hours before game time, just putting the finishing touches on senior day. 2 away now on the ground out.
Great play there by King to Caruso. King really came to the ball. Caruso with the nice scoop over there at first base.
Yeah, well said. She did make a nice play at first base, did Caruso. Ball was a little low by King, but Caruso picks it, holds on to it, and that'll bring up Betsy Sachs, and she lines out to Conti at second, and that will do it for the top of the sixth. We head to the bottom of the sixth inning, 5-1 Darien. We'll be right back on the DAF Media Network. We are back here on the DAF Media Network. Bottom of the sixth, and quickly one away. As Maddie Conti lines out to Sachs at third base.
Got a lot of fans lining the fence today for Senior Day. A lot of parents. The Blue Wave is celebrating 3 seniors today: Caruso, Gentile, and Haley King.
Isachi Smalls up for the Blue Wave, number 42. Facing Fran DeLeo. And it's a 2-0 count to Smalls. Three-0 count. With nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth, or one out, I should say. I thought she'd take, and she did. 3-1 the count as DeLeo delivers a strike.
It was a good take by Smalls. On 3-0, it's pretty typical to see a batter take that first strike. She walks on down to first. And that's going to bring up the top of the order for the Blue Wave with senior Haley King, shortstop number 32. Coach DeMeo is putting in a pinch runner, Melanie Vernal, for Isachi Smalls over there at first base.
Want to apologize, having some technical difficulties with our scoreboard. The score is correct, and there is one out, but the count, having some difficulties with that. But let's set the stage for you. We've got Haley King up to bat, a runner on first, one out, bottom of the sixth, 5-1 Darien. King, ground ball to short, and a nice play by Butler is short. She bobbled it, makes a nice backhand play, and she gets the lead runner at second.
That was a nice heads-up play by Butler to throw it over there to second, get that lead runner. Not an easy play.
And Vernal is retired at second as Westhill head coach Tom Pia comes out onto the field, checking to see if his shortstop, Olivia Butler, is okay, and she appears to be, which is a good thing. 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth, 5-1 Darien. Runner on first, and Kaylani Caruso up for the Blue Wave. One of those 3 seniors, the first baseman. And our scoreboard back working, so that is a good thing. 1-0 count to Caruso. Ground ball, right side, and they misplay it at second base, and that allows King to go to third.
Nice heads-up play by King, running from first to third there. Took advantage of the bobble at second.
First and third, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Darien. And that brings up Rosalie Perrone.
Again, with runners at the corners for this third time this game, let's see what the catcher of Westhill does here.
They throw down to second, and they get the runner at second, and that will do it for the bottom of the 6th inning as Caruso is thrown out at second. Nice play by Maddie Cortell, the Westhill catcher, to gun it down there, and she gets Caruso trying to steal second. So after 6, it's 5-1 Darien. We head to the top of the 7th. Last licks for Westhill in a game that is, that you and I have mentioned, Rebecca, has just really has sailed by.
I can't believe it's already the 7th. I mean, it's only, what is it? It's 5:20. This game started at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it is really.
Usually you'll see these games go to at least 5:40 around there, maybe an hour 45 for 7 innings. But the Blue Wave and Westhill are really making this a quick one.
So we head to the top of the 7th, Westhill.
See if Darien
down
can finish
4.
it off right here.
Grace Carras, the Darien pitcher, trying to get the win, the freshman, on senior day. And leading things off for Westhill will be number 22, Annalise Fishkill, the right fielder. And she fouls that one off. Again, want to thank everybody for watching us on the DAF Media Network. So glad to bring this softball game to you. We had planned to live stream 2 other softball games this season, but Mother Nature got in the way of both of those broadcasts. So we are thrilled to be able to bring our first ever softball game to you on the DAF Media Network. Certainly hope to bring you many more in the future. Weak ground ball. Carras feels it, and she throws it over to first for the out as number 22, Annalise Fishkill, is retired. So 1 away here in the top of the 7th. 5-1 Darien.
Carras has really been bouncing off the mound all game today with those backhands, firing it over to Caruso.
And that'll bring up the Westhill pitcher, Fran DeLeo. DeLeo, ground ball to Perrone at third. She throws over to first for the out. And there are 2 away. So Westhill down to its final out here in this late season FCIAC matchup between 2 rivals, 2 programs that have had a lot of success in recent years. Hannah Burston, the left fielder. She grounds to Conti at second, throws over to first, and that will do it as Darien wins it 5-1 on senior day. On what was an absolutely beautiful day. The sun is out in full force right now, and we have it in our eyes as the teams will shake hands near home plate, as is customary. And Rebecca, our maiden voyage on the DAF Media Network doing softball, this was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Thanks so much for having me today, Damien.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'd be remiss if I want to get your final thoughts on this one. Obviously, Carras pitched well for Darien, and it was really, you know, they moved runners. They did all the little things that it takes to win games.
Definitely. I think it might have been Darien's base running that really put them ahead in the game today. That and scoring early really took the pressure off Kara's in the circle and the infield, outfield of Darien.
There's one of Darien's longtime assistant coaches.
Artie DeFilippis right there, taking it out to talk to the girls.
And so again, 5-1 Darien wins on senior day here at Darien High School. I want to give a shout out as we look at the Darien huddle there out in right field. I want to give a shout out to our production crew, Thomas Kiernan on camera 2, Ted Brennan, our director, did a terrific job. For Rebecca DeMeo, I am Damian Andrew. Again, Darien wins 5-1. Beating Westhill on senior day. This has been a production of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.